Live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in this time. Everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. What an embarrassment, man. I understand Anthony Davis went down. I understand, this is a very different team without Anthony Davis. We don't have that center that can slot in, come in, and do the things, particularly protecting the rim and operate the way that we need when Anthony Davis is out. But, this was terrible across the board, right? This was just inexcusable in my opinion, right? It's one thing to lose this game. It's another thing to just get ran through. It wasn't even a competition. This wasn't like a hard-fought game and we lost, right? Yeah, we were without Anthony Davis. They were out without 4 of their 5 starters and 2 other bench guys. They were running guys that we've never even heard of, and they were killing us and torching us. We were getting out-hustled, outworked, outplayed, turnovers. LeBron nearly had a quadruple-double because he almost had as many turnovers as anything else, right? LeBron James had 8 turnovers. 8 turnovers. I understand he had 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 31 points, right? But he had 8 turnovers, right? We just couldn't take care of the basketball. Guys being sloppy with the basketball. LeBron's just force-feeding passes. Rui Hachimura can't even box out Tyrese Maxey when he weighs 100 pounds more than him and, is just bigger than him, but can't even box out to secure the ball. It's just effort. It's just lack of energy, lack of anything. This is the type of team where you just go they're not serious, right? Look, they had a solid run, leading up to this game, and then you tarnish it by this, right? Again, it's one thing to lose this game because Anthony Davis goes down and it kind of sucks the wind out of you or something like that. It's not what this was. You got just absolutely decimated, ran through, and it wasn't even a contest. And a lot of it was just effort. It was just, again, Lakers not showing up with the effort. I understand you didn't have Jared Vanderbilt and stuff like that, but we knew he was not going to do back-to-backs. Right, we knew that he's going to be on minute restriction. The Lakers are going to be very cautious with him in his return, and it's just this is the result that we get. Right, it's so frustrating watching this team be so unserious. Right, you're coming off of great wins, you're on great stretches. Again, bad games happen, bad moments happen. Right, it happens. Right, stuff happens. But again, to perform to the level in which we just saw them perform, that shouldn't happen. That's not just this was a bad night. This was, again, we could not stop them. There was no defensive effort. And it wasn't like it was all just, don't get me wrong, we were getting dominated on the interior, but they were just jacking up threes and just torching us. They had what? How many threes did they make? They were 11 to 34 from three-point range. Right? They were taking a bunch of threes. Don't get me wrong, it was a layup line to the rim, but guys can't stay in front of anybody. It's just, again, it's so frustrating, right? You got to get some trades. Look, Anthony Davis could miss some time, right? Anthony Davis could miss some real time because if it's really an abdominal issue and it's an abdominal strain or something like that, that's usually 4 to 6 weeks, I think, something like that. So you're talking about a guy we could be without our best player for some time. If that's the case, you have to expedite a trade, right? If that's the case, you have to go get a center. We're not winning very many games if we don't get a legitimate center, right? Go get Nikola Vucevic, whatever, or go pony up and trade what you have to trade to go get Walker Kessler. Go give up Dalton Knecht. He just had a monster game, right? He had a great game. Right? Be look what he just did, and trade him in a first for Walker Kessler. Right? Whatever you got to do, remove the protections. Got to do something. Hopefully this is something where the Lakers figure some stuff out, right? And actually push harder for a trade. But it's just, again, this team is so unserious, right? We've talked about it a million times. They go on these stretches where they look like a real basketball team, and they look okay, there's something there, right? Again, they look like a team where it's okay, man, you could see this team be something. I've talked about it a lot recently. They play to their competition. They play Boston, they show up like they are a playoff team. Let's go, right? Buckle down. Everyone's locked in. Everyone's ready to play. They play a team like the Sixers. who are playing a bunch of G League guys. What do the Lakers do? They play like a bunch of G League guys. I mean, again, it's the unseriousness of this team. It's crazy. It is absolutely insane to me that this team just like continuously does this. It is so frustrating. Again, like, you know, who really showed up? I mean, LeBron, don't get me wrong, had nice stats, but he was just out there. Like, he's getting beat on defense. He wasn't even like contesting or going out. He had as many turnovers as he did rebounds, right? And nearly one more assist than turnovers. He had a 9-8 turnover ratio. That's like he's having like, you know, a turnover for every assist he has. And then it's just like Rui Hachimura, 6 and 9, 1 and 3 at 13 points, 2 rebounds. You're 6'8". Their center was Yabasale, or however you say his name, right? Like the dude is like 6'7", and Rui Hachimura can't grab more than 2 rebounds. Max Christie had more rebounds than that. Austin Reeves had more rebounds than that, right? Rui Hachimura can't grab more. Like, but this is like a regular thing for him. This guy's like 6'8" and can't even play like he's 6'8". It's just so wild to me. Max Christie had a terrible game. You know, Austin Reeves, 6'10". He had 13 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, but we needed him to be more aggressive on the offensive side. Right? Like he did. Like this was an opportunity. Anthony Davis is out. We need you. We need you to, yeah, I like that he had 8 assists. He had 3 turnovers. But we need him to be, like, these are the games. Anthony Davis is out. Who's stepping up? That's what Reeves is supposed to be our third guy. Austin Reeves is supposed to be our third guy, right? So what is the third guy supposed to do? When one of your main guys is out, the third guy steps up because he's the second guy tonight. And instead, he was passive and didn't want to show up, didn't want to play. Right? It's like if you were ever going to show up, this is the game to do it. Where's the Austin Reeves 38 piece? Right? Where's the Austin Reeves going and doing what we need to do? You know, like it's frustrating. It is so frustrating watching this. Jackson Hayes can't rebound to save his life. Dude, the ball comes down and he's like, what are you doing? And he's getting out rebound by like guards and stuff. Right? Like, yeah, it was just so embarrassing. So embarrassing. Dalton Knecht was like the one bright spot. Right? Dalton Knecht actually had a really good game. I mean, from the jump, right? I mean, he was good out the gate. You know, 8 of 13 from the floor, 5 of 8 from 3, 5 rebounds. Like, this was what we needed Austin Reeves to do. Why is Dalton Knecht the guy showing up? And he did it in 22 minutes. Right? Austin Reeves is supposed to be our third guy. Where's all the Austin Reeves or my daddy guys? Where are all those people at? Right? Where are all those people in the chat? Where's the Austin Reeves is, you know, my future ex-husband? Like, where are all those people at? Where was Austin Reeves tonight? Where was that? Where was your boy at? Right? Again, he's supposed to be the third guy. Right? He's supposed to be the guy. But people don't want Zach LaVine. If Zach LaVine played, you think he only has 13 points this game with Anthony Davis out? Just saying. Just saying. You think any real third option is really going to have that type of game? Again, where is it? Right? Like, it's so frustrating watching this team sometimes. Right? It's just like you have these games where they look great. You have these games where, you know, like we look like a real contending team. We look like a team that's ready to lead the charge. And then you have games like tonight where this team can't do nothing, where this team can't show up. No one shows up. Guys are awful. Guys can't score the basketball. Guys can't defend. Guys can't rebound. You're getting out hustled by a bunch of G League guys. Right? It's just like, again, it's so unserious. It is so incredibly frustrating. Again, like outside of Dalton Knecht, like where was everyone else? Right? Dalton Knecht was like the one bright spot. It looks like he's been back the last 10 games or so. I did a whole video breakdown on Dalton Knecht coming back recently. He's been really good recently. Of course, he's had like games in between here and there, but for the most part, he's been back to shooting the ball well and playing really well, right? And I mean, he gave you again 22 and a half minutes, right? This is the game. Austin Reeves played almost 34 minutes, right? This is the kind of game where it's like, hey, dude, maybe actually show up and be the guy, right? It is so incredibly frustrating watching this team just like flounder. But anyway, done with my rant. Let's get into all the super chats, all the regular chat questions, all of that stuff. It's because It's just, again, it's just so frustrating. But real quick, if you haven't yet, please take a quick second, hit that like button for me. Everyone that's here, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. So, Crippy Longstock, coming out $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Max is inconsistent. Reeves is inconsistent. We have no reliable big, and our starting backcourt can't stop Duke's backcourt. We need LaVine, Vando, Dorian Finney-Smith as a starting backcourt and small forward. This is sad. Look, I'd still go get Zach LaVine. Right? I will maintain that until he's off the table. I will say this. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's to the Lakers, but Zach LaVine is out for personal reasons between now and the trade deadline. Let's put our little tinfoil conspiracy hats on for a moment. Could the Lakers be pulling off some moves? Could the Lakers be making some magic happen? Rui comes back and he starts when that's probably not the route to go. And they say it's because we need Dorian Finney-Smith minutes, but he had no problem starting previously, right? Like, it's just, the only thing that makes sense at this point is if the Lakers are getting ready to trade Rui, right? But now, like, if Anthony Davis misses time, you might need to go get a center. But still, you go get Zach LaVine and then go get like a Day'Ron Sharpe. There you go, problem solved, right? Like, Lakers need to do something. But yeah, this is frustrating. Like, watching this team just seriously, like, Jackson Hayes can't rebound the basketball. Literally, he has a basketball in his hands and he's just like doing this, and then he loses the ball. And it's just like, dude, you can't grab the ball's right there. Grab it, right? Like, grab it. No one's coming to tackle you. No one's gonna grab the ball, right? You can't even do that. But you're not wrong. Like, we can't stop anybody. We can't do anything, right? It's so incredibly frustrating. So incredibly frustrating. Again, where's all the Reeves lovers, right? Again, I like Reeves, but apparently I'm a Reeves hater for saying that he's inconsistent. Apparently I'm a Reeves hater when I talk about him not showing up. But every time he doesn't show up, none of the Reeves lovers seem to defend him, right? If he's your guy, where are you to defend him? Where are you to justify this game? I'd love to see the Reeves lovers justify this game. But anyway, I appreciate it. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you for super chat. All right, let's get into the regular chat here until some more trickle in. Our centers can't defend. Oh, come on, whatever. There we go. Our centers can't defend and rebound without AD. Yeah, it's terrible. Hayes is the worst backup center in the league. I don't know. There's pretty bad backup centers, but he's definitely not. Like I said, he's as like your third guy, fine. If he's your third center, right, and he's just in limited minutes as like a high energy guy, he's fine. But whenever you have to rely on him heavily, he's just not that. He's just not that guy. Shame. They had no center, no excuses. Yeah, you had no. There is no excuse. This was a poor Lakers effort. This was a poor game. AD's been the healthiest player in the league the last 2 years, literally, right? Like star-wise, like guys that are in the top 50, Anthony Davis has been the healthiest out of all of them, right? So again, this isn't like AD. Like injuries happen, stuff happens. You can't control things. But Anthony Davis, like I know people are like, oh, Davis is soft. He's literally been the healthiest player in the league, right? Like again, this is a soft thing. Like it's just it happens, right? Stuff happens. Injuries happen. I feel like this trap game back to back and jerseys occur. Yeah, can we burn those jerseys? Like I don't want to see those jerseys for another game the rest of the season. It is crazy. It is crazy. And the Lakers haven't won a game on January 28th since 2004. So they had that curse and they had the jersey curse. So let's see. Oh, here's a Reeves lover that can't hold Reeves accountable, right? Again, instead of talking about LeBron, since you never talk Nate, why don't you talk about Austin Reeves, right? Again, talk about Reeves or defend him. Explain to me why he didn't show up today. I want to trade sooner rather than later. Get Rui off this team for Bruce Brown and then Day'Ron Sharpe. I'm like, yeah, ideally sooner rather than later. If AD is out for any significant time, you have to go get a center. You have to make a trade. You have to do something like ASAP. If it costs you more, it costs you more. You should have gotten something done sooner. Yeah, 100%. It was terrible. They absolutely put the pedal to the metal. Lakers still haven't won a game in Philadelphia since 2017 and are now 1-9 in those Lake Show jerseys. Yeah, it's crazy. And on top of that, They haven't won on January 28th, as I mentioned. As I said yesterday, Tyler, we going to get crashed because this roster ain't enough. You saw if AD is out, our defensive rebounding so terrible. It's on Rob right now. I need to make a trade. Rui, so trash. Agreed. Got to get something done. Rui should come off the bench. Why this trash continue to start and can't defend and he can't rebound? What a trash. I mean, the only thing that makes sense at this point for why Rui keeps starting is because they're trying to trade him. Right? Like, that's literally the only thing that makes sense. Let's see. Let's see. And this is why we need Zach for these situations like this. Yeah, agreed, 100%. AR def capable of being a third or fourth option on a contender. Not everyone can average 18.5 a game and 6 assists as a third option on a team with AD and LeBron. Yeah, but where was he tonight, right? Isn't that the point of your third option? Isn't that the point of a guy like Austin Reeves? Isn't he supposed to step up when one of the guys are out? Something happens. This is his moment to step in, right? Again, if we had Zach LaVine, does Zach LaVine have that performance? Sixers are a fantastic example of what a GM without reliable stars, what a game without reliable stars can become. Let's see. Take 2 steps forward and 2 steps back with this team. It's annoying and frustrating to watch. Yeah, again, the inconsistencies are ridiculous. It's just like, again, like how hard is it to show effort? Again, if you lost, that's one thing, right? You lose a game, fine, it happens. You lost AD. If it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you know, AD's out and it just like sucked the wind out of you, that's fine. That's not what this was. Literally, you got just outplayed, out hustled, out like everything. This was embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. When Milton and Bronny in the game, it's blowout. This was a backyard whooping. I ain't never seen so much drop passes, miscommunication, and didn't even look like a team BFX. It looked like a team that just got put together. That's why, like, I made the thumbnail, right? Like, Lakers didn't want to play basketball today because it's what it felt like. It felt like a team that just didn't, like, it was their first time playing basketball. Like, oh, what are we supposed to do? Oh, we don't pass it to the other team? Yeah, he was trying to do way too much. Let's see. Yeah, this was a terrible Bron game, without a doubt. Would you trade KD and a first for, or would you trade AD and a first for KD and Monty Moore? Absolutely not. Not in a million years. I mean, unless you're getting KD and 3 firsts. Let's see. If AD is out for extended period, I would go get Curry, like Steph Curry. Come on, Steph Curry. Vucevic. I think you got to go get Vucevic too. Also tired of Austin Reeves' inconsistent play. You should have cooked Gordon tonight. Yeah, 100%. Eric Gordon made him look like a child. Like, it was embarrassing. Embarrassing. Let's see. What else? 50 and a quarter for, yeah, 100%. Worst teams in basketball. Just Lakers just got absolutely demolished. Yeah, he needs to hit the weight room 100%. This team is damn joke. Yep. At least that patter out there down by 20, shaking my head. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's what you're saying. Yeah, if AD is out for an extended period of time, I would go for Vucevic. Yeah. You got to get something. Yeah, it's 100%. Can we burn those jerseys? It's ridiculous. When you don't get attempts, Austin Reeves had the ball in his hands the whole game. What are you talking about? If you don't get attempts, take the shots, right? Like, again, you have the ball in your hands. The attempts are on you to take. Again, what kind of clueless defense is that? Well, when you don't get the attempts, you have the ball in your hands. You decide how many attempts you get or not, right? Like, what are you talking about? Rob Pelinka is ruining my life, 100%. This team's not unless something crazy, drastic happens. Tyler's just in the stream, bro. I feel it. It's so frustrating. I hate this team. I feel it. He's a bad defender, but he'd help on the interior at least. Help rebounding, give you another consistent scorer, give you a guy. Games like this where Anthony Davis is out, you're going to get 20 and 12, right? This game shows Lakers have no wiggle room. Like LeBron said, what the hell was Bronny doing in the game in the first quarter? That was the beginning of the end. I think it was just for point of attack defense. I think the Lakers planned on this being a bit of a smooth sailing, right? I think that they planned of like, okay, like now would be a good time to do X, Y, and Z. And then next thing they blink and it's over. And you're just like, it's one game, Tyler. Give him no. It's not just one game. The problem is this is a regular thing, right? If this was like an outlier game, I'd probably feel a different way. But it's not. We've seen this like at least a dozen times this season, where it's just like literally just lack of effort. Let's see. We tired of getting embarrassed. Exactly. That's my problem. It's so frustrating watching this team play sometimes. They're just like God. Reeves was getting killed by every guard. He had to check, and our bigs are just bums. We need a true big. And the Suns got Nick Richards, and Pelinka got Jemison. Fire up tonight. We'll see what ends up happening in the long run, but they need to get something. Finally, a pitchfork night. You're right, Blucka. It's definitely a pitchfork night. It is definitely one of those nights. It is so incredibly frustrating watching this team tonight. Let's see. Lakers is a bad team. That's it. We don't need to be surprised. Lakers last couple of years, 7th, 8th seed, and lose in the first round or just swept by Denver. I mean, last few years, yeah, you lost in the first round last year, but the previous year you were in the conference finals. So I don't know about the last few years. I mean, yeah, you got swept by Denver, but still are in the conference finals. But yeah, Lakers are not like a contender, like a true contender, yes. Yeah, exactly. Where was Reeves? This is the game, right? Maxey showed up. Maxey's the third guy, isn't he? Behind Paul George and Joel Embiid. Maxey's the third guy. His 2 stars were out, and what does he do? He goes drops 43, right? And torches the Lakers. Tell me what's the excuses? There is no excuses. It's a terrible game. There's no excuses. Lakers are cheeks. What excuse is there? You tell me an excuse if you have one. Reeves is exposed. Yeah. Reeves has to be a babysitter every time he is going to the other side. Yeah. Yeah, he's inconsistent. That's my problem, but I'm a hater, apparently. Why JJ didn't just throw in those bigs the Lakers got, I'm sure they would have stepped up. I mean, he did. He played Koloko. Koloko didn't do nothing. He was cheeks. Threw in Hayes. Hayes was cheeks. Let's see. The problem is LeBron at 40 should be the third guy out at least in a Harden role while he just facilitates mostly. Yeah. Look, that's why I've talked about go get like a LaVine or something like that. Then LeBron can kind of coast throughout these games. All right. And then when you have that random game where you need him and he steps up, and then that's that. Trade everyone. I've said it. I don't think anyone should be untouchable on this team. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something to me. I watched this game and I thought to myself, LeBron looks washed right now, but I'd rather have an Olympic gold medal for America than the Lakers getting a chip. And once I realized I had to negotiate my expectation. That's very true. But look, I don't think he was washed. I just think he was playing too passive. He was forcing things too much. We've seen this a lot. We've seen where LeBron can just take over a game randomly, but again, it's just when he's not doing that, and he tries to get past, and he was trying to do too much, right? Like somebody said earlier, he was trying to do too much. He was trying to force the issue rather than just playing within the flow. Austin Reeves fanboys don't want to trade him. Not even Rob don't want to trade him. because they saw he's better than SGA apparently. We trash. We gonna lose a game versus the Wizards by 50. I sure hope that's not the case. Lakers need to close out this month on a win. An injury was going to happen to one of them eventually. Luckily, if it has nothing to do with the past injuries spots, personally, I thought this should have been a rest game. In. I always said start Dalton and make Reeves the sixth man. And apart from the final clutch lineup, he's clutch, but his defense can't be hidden in a 48-minute game yet. Let's see. This team has no room for error. They beat up on teams that are under 500. Yeah, they have the second best record against teams under 500. Man, when I saw Rui start over Dory Finney-Smith, I knew that they were good. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's for sure. You are not wrong. Yeah, seriously, go get LaVine. Let's see. LeBron Chat, he's not going to ask for trade. He's here because of his family. JJ is definitely fumbling the bag right now. This has to be for a trade for Rui, giving him start minutes. That's the only thing that makes sense. Literally, it's the only thing that makes sense is that they don't want to take him out of the starting unit because they're trying to trade him. Because it is, I mean, it's malpractice at this point, right? Like it's ridiculous at this point. Right? Yeah, he should not be starting. Coming out, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. WTF was JJ doing putting in Bronny before Knecht and AD hurt? I think they underestimated this game. I think that they thought like, oh, this is going to be a coast game. Like now's a good time to play guys like Bronny and let them get some minutes. You're playing a bad team and all that stuff. And we just got blitzed. AD went down and we got blitzed. Right? That's the only thing that really makes sense to me. Especially because Knecht was great tonight. Right? I mean, granted, at the time he didn't know if Knecht was going to be great or not tonight. Like I get wanting Bronny for like the defensive purposes because Jared Vanderbilt's out, but you should have probably went with Cam Reddish early on. I don't know. Again, I don't know what the thought process was. I don't know what the thinking was outside of like the only thing that makes sense to me is that they underestimated a Sixers team. They thought they were going to come in. They thought this was going to be a cakewalk. They thought that they were just going to run through the Sixers, and they didn't. That's what I think happened. Again, I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I lean to. Let's see. I appreciate you again. Any AD update? Damn, we need our best player to beat Washington because if AD don't play, we're going to lose by 50. So far, nothing. We probably won't hear anything until tomorrow. They'll probably evaluate him tonight and then, or in the morning, and then we'll take it from there. Let's see. What do you see in Zach? I can't see it. I think you're just locked in on Zach LaVine. I don't see what you see. I mean, there's a million things, right? One, he would literally be our best pure scorer, our best natural scorer that we have. A guy that could absolutely get buckets. He's shooting the lights out. He's great off ball. He's one of the best catch and shoot three-point shooters in the league. He takes all the pressure off of LeBron and AD. He's a clear upgrade from Austin Reeves. But on top of that, he gives you athleticism, versatility out on the perimeter, gives you applied rim pressure, right? Guy that can close and take over and on many nights be your best player on the team. Lakers struggle at times to go on these stretches. They don't have guys that can self-create naturally, right? Like LeBron is pretty limited, right? Like what does LeBron always do? He either A, puts his head down and then looks up and shoots a three, or he puts his head down and bullies his way into the basket, or he gets on the block, takes the ball, and then does that turn away fade. Anthony Davis, a lot of the same things. Anthony Davis, right? He wants to just kind of jab, 15-foot jumper, or he'll kind of like try to beat a guy off the dribble, right? We don't have that over-the-top shooting. Even Austin Reeves doesn't like to, he can't just elevate and shoot over the top. He's a guy that likes to get to his spots, create the contact, get the guy on his hip, and try to create advantage situations, right? Where a guy like Zach LaVine, you can literally be on him, be in his grill, basically do whatever you want, and he'll just rise up and knock it down, right? it's the level, it's the eliteness that he can provide to this team. Right now, it just becomes so much harder to guard him. Right, teams at times they're not even worried about Austin Reeves. How many times have we seen Austin Reeves just wide open and no one even goes and contests? They're not doing that for Zach LaVine. Let's see. JJ is definitely better than him, without a doubt. Let's see. Reeves got cooked. Yeah, 100%. Y'all are dumb wanting Bruce Brown. I disagree. Bruce Brown would be great. Been here for 30 seconds and see a bunch of people hating on AD. Sometimes I hate Laker fans. Man, so toxic. AD has been more healthy than most stars the past 2.5 seasons, at least. Yeah, I said the same thing earlier, right? Like people are all upset with Anthony Davis. Like, dude, the guy's been the healthiest player in the league the last, like you said, 2.5 seasons. Tyler, come on now. What do you mean? Come on now. I literally are you? Is that a comment? Is that a response to somebody else? Because I said the same thing. Because he's been literally one of the healthiest players in the entire league. Tyler, you're not hating. You're just stating facts. Thank you. Appreciate you. Luckily, facts don't care about people's feelings. So, if Rob doesn't even try to trade the picks for something better, I'm going to lose it, man. I get no trade is better than a bad trade, but the rumors that we've been hearing, none of them sound bad. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, again, I don't mind. Like, if the Lakers can get the trade, so like Bruce Brown, for example, right? If you could go get Bruce Brown and not give up a first, then fine, get Bruce Brown. Like, if you can make the trades without giving up a first, because something that I see regularly, and I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about just general, right? I see a lot of comments from people. They're like, they have to trade the first. They don't have to trade the first. It's just they have to get the players, right? So again, if you can get Nikola Vucevic and Bruce Brown, let's just use them as an example. Let's say you can get both of those guys, and you don't have to give up a first in order to do it, right? And you can just, say give up a pick swap for Nikola Vucevic and then give up 2 seconds for Bruce Brown. If you're able to do that and still keep your first, then fine, keep your first, right? I want them to trade the first if it comes down to that. But if you can get the right pieces that you need to make this team a contender without having to give up those first, then fine. The Lakers need to trade for the players. They don't necessarily need to give up the first, but if it comes to that, and the only way for you to get those players is by giving up a first, then fine, give up the first. Right? Like, if you have to give up a first to go get, a Jakob Poeltl or something, then fine. Go give up a first to get Jakob Poeltl. If you have to trade both first to get Bruce Brown and Jakob Poeltl, then trade both first and go get Bruce Brown and Jakob Poeltl. Right? Whatever you have to do. Whatever you want to do. That's my thing. Stakes coming out, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. We need an on-ball guard who can create separation. Exactly. Which is why I like the idea of Zach LaVine. All right? Like I was explaining earlier, he's a guy that can just go. He can just create the separation. He can shoot over the top. He can just generate offense for you. He doesn't need you can just give him the ball and just say go, right? And everyone can just sit back and watch, right? Like, we don't have that. Like I said, Austin Reeves, he's got to work so hard to generate offense, which is why he's inconsistent. Because unless his 3-point shot is falling, which more times than not it's not, he has to work so hard to create that separation. Right? He has to get into the teeth of the defense. He has to get the defender on his hip, and then he's trying to create those advantages and create the contact to get to the foul line and stuff. Right? That's the problem. But it's so frustrating. Let's see. I lost my spot. Shoot, where was it? Let's see. Shoot. Okay, here we go. I found where I'm at. This team isn't winning. Y'all stupid to believe this team is going anywhere this season. Again, don't underestimate the value of some trades. Right now, again, I said a million times, I don't think that they're a true contender. But you get the right 2 or 3 guys, you're in good shape. Lakers get Kessler, Sexton, let's say it's 2 second-round pick. Pistons get Rui Wood, Jazz get Gabe Jalen Schifino, Hayes, lift protections on the first for the Rui trade, and a first, get BB or Lonzo Ball in the buyout. Problem is, buyout, Lakers couldn't get Bruce Brown or Lonzo. Lakers can't because they're with that trade you'd be able to be under the first. Okay, so that is that what that does? Okay, because I was just about to say they can't get guys like that, but yeah, they can get under. If they can get under the trade market, then yes, you're right. Or under the first apron. Sorry. Let's see. What happened to AD? He had an abdominal issue. So we'll see if that's something if that can work out. Still got 17 championships. Yeah. Need number 18 though. We got to tie the Celtics. We managed to string a couple of win streaks, but we still are in the same problem. Reeves, Rui, Christie should be on the trade train. Everything is screaming for Rob to make a trade yet. Got to get something done. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something to me. John, I've said it before. I don't mind John Collins. Yeah, they just got absolutely ran through. With his contract, we would not have the whole MLE and TPE next season. We basically would be over the second apron or very close. Oh, you're talking about John Collins? It also depends on how low LeBron would be willing to go to. Let's see. Maxey is the second option over Joel Embiid and Paul George. Stop it. He was before Paul George got there. Paul George and Joel Embiid are the guys. Bad games all around, but AR was not the worst Laker tonight. He was not the worst Laker tonight, but he wasn't great either. I know, it's crazy. It is wild, right? Like, talk about being objective. Can't even say like one negative thing, right? You can't just be honest, right? And this is why people don't take it serious, right? Like, again, be honest. It's fine. It's okay. Like, Austin Reeves isn't going to show up at your house and be like, "Wow, I thought you were my fan." Like, wow, right? Like, by just being honest, right? Again, it's why people don't take it serious, right? Like, people overhype. Again, there's nothing wrong with being honest. For a while now, AD might be out, maybe weeks or maybe a month. Yeah, and that's the problem. Lakers, if that happens, Lakers have to go get a center like tomorrow. You have to. If you have to overpay for a center, then you have to overpay for a center. That's tough. That's life. You should have gotten one sooner, right? Like, let's see. AD stuff, so we should be. Yeah, exactly. The logic isn't there. Lakers beating the Knicks. I'm calling it. I sure hope so. Let's see. Once Bronny on the court, we lost all momentum and got killed in the paint. I mean, this wasn't on Bronny. I mean, Bronny was weird, like a weird substitution randomly. But, like, we didn't lose because Bronny played 10 minutes. Like, let's see. I'm not against giving up Reeves to go get. I would want to keep Christie because Reeves becomes a redundancy if you get Zach. Christie does it. Christie still can be that 3-and-D guy. Plus, he's 21 years old, right? So, like, I'm not against trading Austin Reeves. Like, if you can get Zach LaVine and you had to trade Austin Reeves, fine, so be it, right? Because then you could still go make another move, right? You could still go get another piece if the Lakers are willing to trade Austin Reeves, right? So, if you could trade Reeves, like, I would rather trade Reeves and keep Vando and Christie because at that point you don't need the more offense, you need the defense, right? So Vando, like having Zach LaVine with like Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis is just a much better start. I mean, you'd be now at that point, I think you'd be one of a real contender, and you'd still have guys. You could still go bring in a couple guys, right? You'd be in good shape. We can speculate, but knowing Lakers front office, I doubt. Let's see. That's actually what I'm thinking. JJ took the Sixers for granted and let Bronny play early and got destroyed here. Yep. They were rewarding Bronny for the 31 bomb. I was fine with it because we were up, but in hindsight, we needed other guys out sooner yet. Like I said, I don't mind it. I'm not against it, right? He's on the team, right? Let him play. But probably, like I said, we didn't lose because Bronny played 10 minutes, right? Like we lost because guys just didn't show up. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something me. Let's see. Why do Lakers always need a trade? Why does every team always need a trade? Why is every contending team? Why are the Thunder in trade talks about Cam Johnson? Because you can always be better. Like, what are you talking about? Some people's like, you're not even making good arguments. Like, think about your. I know you're trolling. I know you're trying to have fun, but at least be thoughtful. At least think, right? Like, even Boston. If Boston could get better, why wouldn't you get better? Right? You can always be better, right? Let's see. Lakers should not give up 2 firsts for Brown and Jakob. I mean, needs that you have that you need to solve, right? I don't hate it, right? You think Lakers go for Fox? I mean, I think that they'll at least inquire. You have to at least do your due diligence. Do I think the Lakers actually land Fox? No, I don't think that they actually land Fox. I've said it before. If Fox wants any other team, literally any other team, Lakers are not going to get him. And supposedly he's open to like 5 teams, right? He has to essentially force his way to Lakers. If Sacramento has to take a lesser return to not send him to the Lakers, they will do that. This puts Pelinka in a really weird position after watching this team. Looks like with no AD yet. I think you got to do something. I would, if you could get, I would give up whatever you have to give up. I would too. Austin Reeves, Knecht, and both first for Fox. Literally, you're talking about all-star caliber point guard that can give you point of attack, give you everything. I would trade whatever you have to. You got to give up pick swaps too, whatever. Fine, go ahead. Right, he's young enough to be a cornerstone for this team. You're probably the best team in the league at this point, right? Like, I would do that in a heartbeat. And he's cheap enough to where like you can still do other things, make other news. Actually, I have a video about Sabonis tomorrow, which sucks because I recorded 3 videos for tomorrow and AD got hurt. So keep that in mind. Although it has nothing to really do with AD, so it doesn't matter. But I'm sorry, trying to find something to me. It's the same old problem. Lakers have issues with athletic guards like Maxey. He had his way with the Lakers, plus turnovers indicate sloppy play. Yeah. Reeves, Knecht, Rui, Christie, 2 first, Dr. Pepper, and Reese's for Fox CFX with you. Like I said, whatever you have to do to get Fox, you do to get Fox. Let's see. LaVine is 10 times offensively better than Reeves, man. Stop it. Yeah, 100%. How is Paul George better than Maxey right now? Put trolling aside, Maxey's putting up elite numbers right now, and Paul George can't even stay healthy. Again, okay, like health, yes, best ability is availability, but that doesn't indicate who's better, right? It if Michael Jordan was injury prone, does that still not make him the best player, right? Like again, like there's levels of this, right? Paul George is better than Tyrese Maxey. He's bigger, stronger, better, just scorer all around scorer. I mean, that guy is one of the best difficulty shot makers in like the last like 10 years, right? Like say what you want about Paul George, is him disappearing and stuff like that. When he's healthy, he's still one of the best two-way guys in the league, like hands down. Right? Like he just can't. His issue is he can't stay healthy, right? But if that guy could stay healthy, I mean, they weren't looked at as this like big threat until they got Paul George. It's just they can't stay healthy. Oh, I don't know, super chat. Let's see. Cosmin coming in hot with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm tired of these types of games, man. A chance to be half a game back of Denver and a game and a half ahead of the Clippers and blow it. Get rid of the jersey. Yes, seriously, they need to burn that and get AD some help, please. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I went on like a whole rant earlier. I had like a whole conversation. It's just, man, like it's embarrassing. Again, like I understand. Like, it's one thing if you lost this game because the Lakers just, suffered a blow because AD went out. No, you got dominated, right? You got out hustled, you got outworked, you couldn't defend, right? Turning the ball over, just carelessness and slopping it. It is so incredibly frustrating watching these kinds of games, which is why, like, I don't think that they're a true contender, right? We watch games, they love to play down to their competition. Like, we see a game against Boston, they show up and they look like the best team in the NBA. Then you go and you play a G League Sixers team, and you show up and play like a G League team. It's the inconsistencies. It's the lack of taking opponents serious. And because they're still NBA players. They still want to win. They still want to play. And guess what? They just ran through us. It is so, so, so incredibly frustrating watching this team play. And yes, the jerseys, they need to burn those jerseys. Lakers are 1-9 with those jerseys. It's like the opposite of like the Mamba jerseys. I don't know what it is about those jerseys. Like, call it superstition, call it whatever you want. You cannot keep wearing those jerseys, especially come playoff time. We better not see those jerseys in the playoffs at all. Like whatever. Even if the Lakers don't believe in superstition, take that stuff off. It's so frustrating. But anyway, again, I appreciate you, Cosmin. I'm right there with you in your frustration, my guy. I feel it. It is just, it's frustrating. But all right, Lakers should have went after Tingus Porzingis before Boston. Lakers should have went and got Drew Holiday. That's who they should have got. Porzingis would have been nice too. Let's see. Ain't gonna lie, I like Fox, but that fit would be awkward AF. I don't think so. Right? There's definitely, don't get me wrong, there's definitely some concerns about it, but I think like he's exactly what LeBron has been like trying to find the last few years, and I just think he takes the pressure off. So again, hey Tyler, thanks for the great content. You tell the truth, simple. Well, thank you, Madison. I really appreciate that. Seriously, thank you for watching. We have a log jam at 4. Yes. Look at the best teams in the NBA. They are young teams that are trying to get paid later. No pride in trying to get a title, just getting paid. Yeah. They're playing. They're young. They're hungry. They're athletic. A true rebounding big, point of attack big game. Let's see. Lakers, you're right. Lakers aren't getting Fox. Never say never, but very, very unlikely. starting lineup of Reeves, Vando, Dorian Finney-Smith, Braun, and Davis. I've talked about that once AD gets, or not AD, Vando gets back like and cleared for minutes and stuff like that. I think you got to do that. Everyone looked terrible tonight, including Dorian Finney-Smith. Yes, this was not a good game by any stretch. Let's see. Paul George has lost a step or two, and that's a fact. I mean, kind of hard to tell if when he hasn't played more than 10 games, the guy can't stay on the basketball court. I'm just gonna say if Lakers got the Clippers depth plus LeBron and AD, that's a championship caliber team. On the other hand, Lakers depth plus Kawhi and Harden, they would not even be a play-in team. Yeah, I agree. You're not wrong at all. Let's see. Also, was LeBron stat padding? The fourth should have rested with the four Wizards. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have done the same thing. No, was it stat padding? Probably, right? You know, like what else are you gonna get? I don't like that he was out there, but also he probably wanted to keep his minutes up and stuff. I would have rather rested him, right? You know, it's kind of one of those things you let LeBron do what he wants to do, but I just, to be fair, we had no AD, no Vando. Again, I don't mind. Like, it's one thing to lose the game, right? It's one thing to take it out, right? It happens. I say it all the time. Any team can beat any team on any given night, right? A team can just shoot the lights out. There's a lot of things that can happen, a lot of factors that go into it. But they didn't just lose the game. They got smacked. Let's see. Coming out the final strip chat. Thank you so much. Rob Pelinka is the definition of trash GM. He didn't sign Caruso, pay THT because he was clutch, not picking up team options for trades, etc., etc. Yeah, Rob Pelinka is he's definitely not absolved of some sins. He's done some bad stuff, which I think is actually good. Like a lot of the stuff that people usually blame him for, he wasn't even responsible for. Like usually people are like Westbrook is that way. But you're right. I mean, they literally changed, which is always funny, right? Like because I've talked about it before. I've gone on like an entire rant about it, where I'm like, you know, like if you're gonna criticize Rob Pelinka, there's a million things to criticize him for. It's just usually the stuff that people criticize him for aren't even Rob Pelinka, right? But like they literally changed the rule for second round picks because of Rob Pelinka. It's called the Rob Pelinka rule, right? Like, and then also all the player options, right? Like, why are you doing all these player options, right? Like, these guys are either bad or they're not, right? If they're good, then guess what? They're going elsewhere and they're going to go get paid. If the only way they're going to pick up that option is if they're bad or they can't get a contract elsewhere. I mean, there's so many things that Rob Pelinka deserves, disdain for. But like I've always said, right? What's the alternative? No real GM, right? Like I see so many people that are like, go get Bob Myers. Why in the world would Bob Myers want to come to the Lakers and be told how to do his job by Jeannie Buss and the Rambis family? Like, that's the problem. Like, Jeannie Buss and the Rambis family want to literally just do want to micromanage everything. It is so ridiculous. It's just like, dude, like, if you don't believe Rob is good enough to do the job, fire him and bring somebody in that you do. And then let him do the job. Otherwise, just leave it. Leave it alone. Right? Like, if you don't think the GM is good enough, then fine. Right? Like, if you think the GM is trash, fine. Let him be trash. Or get rid of him and then move on and do what you need to do. But if you believe he's the guy, then let him do what he has to do and get that out of the way. I've talked about it before. Like, how many times have you heard of an owner vetoing a trade? Jeannie Buss has vetoed like 3 in the last 3 years, right? Like it's crazy, right? Again, it's just unless Jeannie gets out of the way, again, fire Rob. You want to fire Rob? Fine, fire Rob. But firing Rob isn't going to fix the issue. The issue is Jeannie and the Rambis family being in the way. Let's see. Let me see what else. All right, I'm gonna do a couple more and then I'm gonna skate on out of here. Rui for Nurk. The Suns and the Lakers would be happy. Supposedly the Suns would be willing to give up a first for a team to take on Nurk. Could you maybe do that? Right? Would you take a first and Nurk for Rui? Let's see what else. Oh, did I get to the end of the chat? Oh, cool. What was this? Why did this pop up? There we go. Oh, I did get to the end of the chat. Perfect. Okay, cool. So then I'm gonna get on there because I got to the end of the chat. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Seriously, you guys are awesome. I really do appreciate that. Everyone that gave me super chats, thank you so much. Seriously, it helps me out a ton. Obviously, do this for a living, so any little thing helps. But on your way out, please take a quick second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me if you haven't yet, and let's bounce back. Hopefully, we get a trade done in the next day or two. I mean, we're like a week away from the trade deadline, so but it's just like, man, last thing I want to do is go on like a 4 or 5 game losing streak because AD misses, a month. So we'll see. But anyway, again, I really appreciate you guys. You guys are beautiful, and I'll see you in the next one.